Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamasto Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaham. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande Guru Paramparam. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. Welcome to this 28th day of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which has been happening for nearly 5 months now, since November. And we are into the 10th verse of chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. So what is that verse about? The 9th verse we saw, there was Yoga Yukto Vishuddhatma Vijitatma Jidendriyaha Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma Kurvan Napi Na Lipyate. A person who is a Yoga Yuktaha, and when he does work, 10th verse also, the 9th verse we saw was Pralapan Visrujan Grinhan Unmishan Nimishan Napi Naiva Kinchit Karomi iti Yuktaha Manyeta Tatvavita. So whatever he may be doing, if he is understanding that he is not the one who is doing the action is happening through him. He is only a tool. He is only a medium through which action is happening. So whatever he may be doing is considered non-action only. And so that is the state of a jnani who does actions. That is what is explained in these verses, 10 verses, 10th to verse 18, which we are going to see today. It contains a similar train of thought. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na sapapena padmapatramivambhasa. This is a very famous expression from the Bhagavad Gita. Living like water on a lotus leaf. Padmapatram Iva ambhasa. Padma is lotus, patra is leaf, ambasa is in the water. So, like how Bhagavan Adisankaracharya says in the Bhaja Govindam, Nalini Jalagata, Nalini Dalagata, Jalamati Taralam, Tadva Jivitam, Atishaya Chapalam. So, like how water is on a lotus leaf, life is very, very flimsy. Any moment it can trip off and drop into the ocean, into the lake. In the same way, Padma Patram Ivambhasa. The person lives life like a lotus leaf water. The lotus leaf is living in water, is existing completely in water, is submerged in water, in the layer of water. But the lotus leaf is never wet because water does not attach itself to it. It has got a kind of succulent quality which dispels water. So in the same way, Brahmani adhaya karmani. All actions are expressed or given up into that Brahman, Ishvara. Ishvara means that non-acting consciousness, which is part of our being, which is part of this whole universe. Into that non-expressing consciousness, the wise man offers all his actions, all his movements, all his thoughts, all his emotions, all his feelings, all his desires, all his need, want, love, hatred, anger, whatever it may be, all his emotions, everything is offered unto that Brahman. Brahmani adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva. Then he does work. He is not sitting jobless or he is not sitting idle. He is engaging in action. How does he engage in action? Sangam tyaktva. He does not attach himself to the thoughts. He is free of the thoughts as he engages in action. Karoti yaha. The one who does actions in this manner. Lipyate nasa papena. He does not get affected by sins. And how does he live life? Padma patram iva ambhasa. He lives like water on a lotus leaf. What a beautiful life that is. It means whatever may happen in our surroundings, whatever may happen in our mind, whatever may happen to our emotions, whatever may happen to our body also, there is no up and down experience of depending on different situations. So there is an experience of oneness, there is an experience of calmness, there is an experience of quietude, of beauty all the time in one's life. Brahmani Ishwari Adhaya Nikshipya. Nikshipya means throwing it completely. All our actions, all our thoughts and emotions, throwing it into that Brahman, into that Ishwara. Tadartham karomi iti. How throwing means what? I am not doing it for myself. I am doing it for the sake of Ishvara. I am doing it for the sake of Brahman. I am doing it for the sake of Bhagavan. Karomi iti bhritya iva swamyartham sarvani karmani mokshe api phale sangam tyaktva karoti. Moksha, even actions like moksha, done for moksha also, everything is given to that Ishvara, like how a servant does for the sake of his master. In the same way, I, the individual being, identified with the body, mind, and intellect, offers all my actions unto Ishvara. Phale, sangam tyaktva karoti yaha sarva karmani. Without any attachment to the thoughts of the actions, sarva karmani, lipyate na sa papena, na sambadhyate, padmapatra iva ambasa udakena. Just like water on a lotus leaf, he is not smeared by sin. He is not dragged down by difficult emotions, sorrowful emotions, grieving emotions, jealous feelings, feelings of misery, feelings of regret, feelings of guilt, shame, all the lower emotions, they do not drag such a person. When action is being done as an offering to the divine, like how a servant would do actions to please the master. Kevalam sattva shuddhi matra phalam eva tasya karmanaha syat yasmat. So by all these actions, what is the result that he gets? The result that he gets is purification of mind. Sattva shuddhi phalam matram. Only that is the result that he gets out of the actions. Any other results that come, everything goes to Ishvara. For his own personal sake, if you say that if you do actions in this manner, what is the point? What is the use? My mind will get one pointed. My mind will get purified by these actions. What is the 11th verse saying? Kayena manasa buddhya kevalairindriyairapi yogina karma kurvanti sangam tyaktvatma shuddhaye. For what purpose does the yogi do actions? Yoginaha, the yogis do action, sangam tyaktva. They give up attachment to the results of the action. They give up attachment to the idea that they are the doer of the action also. For what purpose they do then? Atma Shuddhaye, for purification of mind. Purified mind means one pointed mind. There is only one thought, a very noble thought in the mind, and there is nothing else, no distracting thoughts in the mind. That's a pure mind. So, how do they do actions? Kayena, Manasa, Buddhya, Kevalaihi, Indriyaihi api. They do actions with the body, they do actions with the sense organs, the 10 sense organs of perception and action. Then they do actions with the mind, with the emotions of feelings, likes and dislikes, hate and joy and sorrow. All these kind of different feelings are there in the mind. And they do the action with the intellect also, a decisive thought in the mind. With all that they do actions, for what sake they do? They do it for the sake of purification of mind. कायेन देहेन मनसा बुद्ध्या च केवलैः ममत्ववर्जितैः ईश्वराय एव कर्म करोमि न मम फलाय इति ममत्व बुद्धि शून्यैः इंद्रियैः अपि. So they do actions with all the sense organs. For what reason? I do it for Ishvara, and they don't have the thought of I in the action. केवल शब्दः कायादिभिः अपि प्रत्येकं सम्बध्यते सर्वव्यापारेषु mamata varjanaya. So the word kevalaihi, meaning everything is attached together. In the mind also there is no thought of I. In the intellect also there is no thought of my intellect, my thoughts or my decisions. In the sense organs also there is no thought of I am seeing, I am hearing, I am tasting, I am smelling, I am touching, I am speaking, I am holding, I am doing. That I is not there. And with relation to the body also, the I thought is not there. Yoginaha karminaha karma kurvanti mama varjanaya. They do it free of the thought of I and mine. Sangam tyaktva phala vishayam atma shuddhaye sattva shuddhaye ityartaha. They do it without attachment to the thought of I. For what reason? Atma shuddhi, for the purification of the mind. Tasmat tatra eva tava adhikara iti kuru karma eva. So, in related to Arjuna also, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling, tatra eva tava adhikara iti kuru karma eva. Go on doing actions. Like there is some great master who said, nobody dies by doing work, but people can die when they don't do work at all. Tasmat tatra eva adhikara iti kuru karma eva. Keep doing actions, because your ability or your jurisdiction lies only in actions, in regulating your actions. Yasmacha. Why? Because the verse 12, yukta karma phalam tyaktva shantimapnoti naishtikim ayukta kamakarena phale sakto nibadhyate. Yuktaha, the wise person, the integrated yogi, karma phalam tyaktva, he gives up attachment to the results of the action. Results of the action means the feeling that I want to have. I do this because I want to feel joyful. I do this because I want to feel excitement. I want to feel the testosterone. I want to feel that adrenaline rush. I want to feel that dopamine rush. So whatever emotion we want to feel, that is the result of the action. So he is not attached to that. Karma phalam tyaktva. And what does he get by doing? When we are not attached to the results, the immediate thought is, why do action? You can just give up. I don't want any specific results for myself. I don't want any specific feeling for myself out of the actions I do. So better sit simply without doing anything. No. Shantim apnoti naishtikim. There is some result that comes out of doing action. What is the result? Shantim. There is peace of mind. There is calmness of mind. There is no wave motion in the mind, because there are no contradictory desires in the mind. There is only one desire. I am existing. and I am acting for the sake of that Ishvara, for the love of that Ishvara, like Hanuman, like Anjaneya Swami, who goes on working for the sake of Rama. Even if he is not doing any work, even if he is not having any work, what is the work that Hanuman Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritastakanjalim Bhashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. Wherever Raghunatha Kirtanam is going on, wherever the name of Rama is being sung, Tatra Tatra Krita Mastaka Anjalim, he raises his hands to his heads. Bhashpavari Paripurna Lochanam, his eyes are welling up with tears with the love of Rama. Marutim Namata Rakshasa Antakam, the one who can do such great work like putting an end to Rakshasas, such a person is filled with love for Rama, his eyes well with tears wherever the name of Rama is being chanted. So that is a kind of devotion that comes out of doing work without any expectation of results. Shantim apnoti naishtikim. Naishtikim means you are established in that peace. You are established in that calmness of mind. Ayuktaha kamakarena. The person who is not integrated in this manner, for the sake of kama, for the sake of desires, phale saktaha. He is doing work with attachment to the results of action, and therefore what happens to him? He is not free, he is bound. Nibadhyate. So what does Bhagavan Adisankaracharya has to say? Yukta Ishvaraya Karmani na mama phalaya iti evam samahitaha san karma phalam tyaktva parityajya shantim mokshakhyam apnoti mokshakhyam apnoti naishtikim nisthayam bhavam. In this existence, in this bhava, he gets nishtha. He is established in that state of mind which is called moksha or liberation or shanti. Parityajya karma phalam tyaktva. He gives up expecting any particular results of action. So what does he get? He gets peace of mind. He gets shanti. And peace of mind for a short period? No. Nishtha always is in that peaceful state of mind. Sattva Shuddhi, Jnana Prapti, Sarva Karma Sanyasa, Jnana Nishtha Kramena iti Vakya Sheshaha. First, what happens? Sattva Shuddhi, purification of mind. By purification of mind, what do we get? Jnana Praptihi. You get knowledge of what? Knowledge of who I am. And then Sarva Karma Sanyasa. After I get knowledge of who I am, I don't need to do any actions because the result of what I have to get through doing any action I have got already. I got that knowledge. So I give up. Sarva Karma Sanyasa. I give up doing work for the sake of attaining any results for myself. Jnana Nishtha Kramena. Then what happens? I gain Jnana Nishtha. I am established in that knowledge of the self. Iti Vakya Sheshaha. Yaha tu punaha ayuktaha asamahitaha kamakarena karanam karaha kamasya karaha kamakaraha tena kamakarena kama preritataya ityarthaha mama bhalaya idam karomi karma iti evam phale saktaha nibadhyate ataha tvam yuktaha bhava ityarthaha. Arjuna, you be a yukta, you don't be a ayukta. Yukta means integrated personality. Don't be a disintegrated personality who is doing work for the sake of selfish results, for the sake of results of one's own thoughts, feelings, and emotions, or getting some personal results out of the action. You don't be such a person. That is what Bhagavan Shri Krishna says. Yaha tu Paramarthadarshi Saha, who is the one who is that supreme seer of the truth. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi navadware pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayan Such a person who lives to do actions without any expectation of results for oneself. He does not disintegrate and die. He is continuing to live. But how does he live? Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya. He gives up all actions with his mind. With his mind means he has the knowledge that he is not the doer of the action. It is that Ishvara who is doing the action. Aste sukham vashi. He is just sitting quietly. Sukham. He is very, very blissful because there is there is no itch within him that is propelling him into action. If there is an itching desire, the desire will never allow us to rest. It will always keeping us on our toes all the time, wanting to achieve something, wanting to do something. But this person is a vashi. He is an integrated and a self-controlled person. Sukham. He is aste. Sukham aste. He is comfortable wherever he is, whatever he is doing, in whichever situation he finds himself in, he is comfortable in that situation. And where does he live? He lives in the body which is made up of 9 gates. Navadware Pure, the city of 9 gates. Is it a big city? No, it's a very small city of some 6 feet to 5 feet to 6 feet tall and so many pounds in weight. This is the body, which is called the city. It has got Navadwara 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 on the head, and the organ of reproduction and organ of excretion are the 2 holes that are beneath. So 9 gates. Navadware Pure Dehi. Naiva Kurvan. He does not do anything, nor does he make anybody do. Meaning he is just living. His job, what is he doing? He is just existing in the body very comfortably without any desire to achieve something, without any desire to do something, without any desire to get some name, without any desire to get some fame, without any desire to wanting to talk or convince somebody or change somebody or help somebody unasked for, or try to fulfill one's own desires. No such transaction is happening in the world because he is completely free of all desires and he is still having life and he is existing in the body. Such a person, naiva kurvan na karayan. He does not do, even if he may appear to do actions, he is not actually doing actions, nor is he making anybody else also do actions. People may do actions around such an enlightened master, but it is not that he is making them do. They are on their own doing. Like how the sun rises in the morning and everybody becomes active. They get up, they sprinkle water, they sweep the front porches of their house, they sprinkle water, they apply kolam. The farmer goes to the farm to tend to his fields, the gardener goes to the garden, the milkman gives the milk supply, the paper man distributes paper. Everybody goes about their work. The sun is not telling, hey, paper boy, you get up and distribute paper. Hey, farmer, you go to the field and tend to your farm. Hey, animal husbander, you go to your cattle and tend to your cattle. The sun does not say all that. But when the sun rises, everybody is in action. In the same way, in the presence of an enlightened being, everybody does their natural work very beautifully. Sarva karmani sanyasya sarvani karmani parityajya nityam naimittikam kamyam pratishuddham chatani sarva karmani manasa viveka buddhya karmadau akarma sandarshanena santyajya sukhamaste tishtati ityartah. So sarva karmani sanyasya, giving up all actions. Sarvani karmani parityajya, giving up, not taking up any action to do for one's own pleasures or one's own joy. Nityam, what are the types of actions? Nitya karma, daily actions. I have to do this, I have to do this homa, I have to do this puja, I have to do the rituals of whatever, I have to bathe and eat food and all that. It may happen, but he is not voluntarily doing to sustain himself or anything. Sustenance is naturally happening. Naimittikam karma is, he may go, he may not go, but it doesn't matter. Naimittikam is, there is a nimitta. In somebody's house, a baby is born, you go and take a look at the newborn baby, or somebody is getting married, you go and give some gifts, or somebody died in somebody's house, so you go and express your condolences. These are all naimittikam karma, where under certain circumstances and situations we do actions. Kamya karma is, I want to achieve putra kameshti yaga. I want to have children, so I do this yaga. I want rain, so I do this yaga. I want somebody to get married, so I do this yajna. I want to earn money, for that I do some yajna. Kamyam. Pratishiddham is actions that are proscribed, actions that that we are not supposed to do according to the Vedas, whatever has been denied as the right actions by the Vedas. Even those actions he does not take up. Tani, sarva karmani, manasa viveka buddhya. Manasa means in the mind. Viveka buddhi means who am I, what is not I. The distinction is very clear. He has realized the self, so he knows what is that self. I is consciousness, and everything other than that consciousness is not I. Viveka buddhya, karma adau, akarma sandarshanena. Now he has seen all the actions, and he has seen what is that actionless self, which is consciousness that is present. Santyajya sukham aste tishtati. He gives up all actions and he is resting comfortably. Tyakta vangmana kaya cheshtaha nirayasaha prasanna chitta atmanaha anyanna nivritti bhakya sarva prayojana iti sukham aste iti uchyate. So what is this sukham? What is this comfort is? It is not giving up action and sitting idle. Tyakta, vang, vak, speech. Manaha is mind, thinking. Kaya is the body. Cheshta, movement of the body. Nirayasaha, prasanna chitta atmanaha. Nirayasa, there is no effort. It's like a baby. A baby will even lift the hand to hold your fingers like this. But there will be no effort. There will be no strain in the baby's hand to do that. You see, in a newborn baby, it is called palmar grasp reflex. A newborn baby, as newborn as 10 days also, to 12 days also, it can just hold fingers. It can hold the mother's finger, or somebody who has come there, it will hold fingers. The baby will lift the hand like this. There will be no effort. There will be no strain in that. And when the hand is left, it will go down automatically. That is the way an enlightened being does work. It is an effortless action. It is an effortless existence that they have. It is not non-doing, but it is effortless action. Prasanna chittaha. He is very calm. He is very cheerful. Atmanaha anyanna nivritti bhakya sarva prayojana iti sukham aste. Sukham means being very cheerful, not exactly not doing anything, but whatever is being done, it is happening effortlessly. It is happening with a lot of cheer. It is happening joyfully. So that's a sign of a enlightened being. Vashi jitendriya ityarthaha kva katham aste iti aha. So Vashi means jita indriya, one who has controlled the senses. And so this is a longer explanation. We have seen the meaning of this verse. We will go on to the next verse. Kim yat tat kartrutvam karayitritvam cha dehinaha swatma samavayi sat sanyasat na bhavati yatha gacchataha gatihi gamana vyapara parityage na syat tadvat kim va swataha eva atmanaha na asti iti atra uchyate na asti atmanaha swataha kartrutvam karayitritvam cha uktam hi avikaryoyam uchyate sharirasthopi kaunteya nakaroti na lipyate dhyayativa leelayativa from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So here the questions, there are many questions and answers between the teacher and the student here. When they say that, how do you say that he gives up action? When you cannot say that somebody is walking and at the same time not walking. So it is not that way. It is not in that sense. It is in the sense that even if they are doing, even if the baby is lifting up the hand and holding, you cannot say the baby is really holding the hand. There's no meaning in that action. It is just happening so naturally, so beautifully. The 14th verse, Nakartrutvam nakarmani lokasya srajati prabhu न कर्मफल संयोगम स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. न कर्तृत्वम न कर्माणि. There is no doership. There is nothing to be done also. Kuru iti na api karmani. There is no action to be done. I have to do this. I must do this. I should do this. There is no vocabulary like that in that person. Ratha ghata prasadadini ipsitatamani lokasya srijati. So he doesn't have any desire-filled actions to do. Srijati utpadayati prabhuhu atma na api rathadi kritavataha tat phalena samyogam na karma phala samyogam. Even though he may even do work like create the whole worlds and create the whole universes like Vishwamitra or Mahavishnu who's sustaining this whole universe for us to live in and experience. So there is no karma phala samyogam. There is no attachment to the results of the action and no sense of doership also. Yadi kinchidapi swataha na karoti na karayati cha dehi kaha tarhi kurvan karayan cha pravartate iti uchyate. So even if he is not doing anything a little bit also, then how do you say that person is doing na kurvan karayan iti uchyate? How is he doing? How is he making others do? Swabhavah tu swabhavah swabhavah avidya lakshana prakritihi maya pravartate daivihi ityadina vakshamana. So because the Maya Shakti is working in that individual and that Maya Shakti is propelling the body, mind and intellect into different forms of actions. That particular individual is not doing action, but the Shakti or the vibratory power, the desire filled force that is operating in every individual, in every human being, is going about doing all the actions. Paramarthataha tu, in the supreme most sense, in the true sense of the term, is it what is it actually happening? Na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu ajnanena vratam jnanam tena mukhyanti jantavaha. Na adatte kasyachit papam. So because he is not really engaging in any sort of action, he does not accumulate any sin from anybody also. Kasyachit papam na adatte. He does not receive sins from somebody. Nacha eva sukritam vibhuhu. He does not even receive good actions, the results of good actions from somebody. He is not wanting it, he is not desiring it, he is not collecting it also. Ajnanena avritam jnanam. However, if a person whose consciousness is covered by ignorance of I don't know who I am, tena mukhyanti jantavaha. These people get confused. They strive hard to receive the results of good actions, and because they ignorantly do actions, they also receive sins from others, but not the jnani. Even though he may be doing actions, he does not receive anybody's sins, or he does not receive anybody's good results of actions also. Na adatte na cha grinhati bhaktasya api kasyachit papam na cha eva adatte sukritam bhaktaihi prayuktam vibhuhu. So this individual, there may be many devotees around him also, but they may offer the results of their actions unto him, but he does not have any sense of doership nor ownership of actions, so he does not receive it. At the same time, they may offer whatever is good for him also, something that is full of punya karma, even that he doesn't take. Kimartam tarhi bhaktaihi pujadi lakshanam yagadana homadikam cha sukritam prayujyata iti aha. So then, why are these devotees doing good actions like yaga, homa? Why do they do all the offerings? If the enlightened being to whom it is offered is not going to take any of this, is not affected by all this. Ajnanena avritam jnanam viveka vijnanam tena mukhyanti karomi karayami bhokshaye bhojayami iti evam moham gachanti avivekinaha samsarinaha jantavaha. The people who are samsaris, the people who are caught in the wheel of birth and death and action in between in the world. And the people who are avivekis, they do not know who I am and what is not I. When they don't have clarity in that knowledge, so they say, Tena mukhyanti. Their mind is deluded with wrong thoughts and erroneous perceptions. And therefore, out of delusion, they say, Karomi karayami bhokshaye. I am enjoying because I do this and I make others do this. Bhojayami, I enjoy for my enjoyment. All these things, all these ideas they have when they do work. And that is why they attract sin and they attract goodwill also. The 16th verse. Jnanena tu tadajnanam esham nashitam atmanah tesham adityavajnanam prakashayati tatparam. Jnanena tu tat ajnanam esham nashitam atmanah. For these wise beings, with the knowledge of who I am, with the thought, meditating upon the thought of who I am, ajnanam esham nashitam. Atmanaha ajnanam. The ignorance about who I am is lost, is gone, is destroyed. Tesham adityava jnanam. In those people, this knowledge of the self, prakashayati, it shines forth, tatparam, at all times. It is revealing the truth. It is revealing the Brahman as that realization of the self shines through them. Jnanena tu ena ajnanena avrita mukhyanti jantavaha tad ajnanam yesham jantunam viveka jnanena atma vishayena nashitam atmanaha bhavati. Ajnanena avrita mukhyanti jantava. Like when the mind is clouded with ajnana, with jnana, with knowledge, it is destroyed. Tesham adityavad yatha adityaha samastam rupajatam avabhasayati. Like the sun, which spreads its light on all forms and makes us see all forms clearly. Tadvat jnanam jneyam vastu sarvam prakashayati. Jnanam or knowledge or awareness, jneyam vastu, whatever is known, whatever is to be known, it sheds its light of awareness, meaning on our thoughts, on our feelings, on our emotions, on our sensations, and all the sounds, smells, sights, touch and feeling, and taste. The sense organs, everything is enlightened by that awareness. Atma vishayena aditya samastam rupa jatam avabhasayati tadvat jnanam neyam vastu sarva prakashayati tatparam paramartha tattvam. That supreme self, that supreme truth of consciousness sheds its light on all our thoughts, emotions, feelings, on the breath, the very breath that flows in and out, and also on the sense objects that are perceived through the sense organs, and the world outside also. Everything is illumined by this awareness. Yat param jnanam prakashitam. What is that which is being enlightened by the supreme truth? Tad buddhayastadaatmanaha tannishthastat gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. So, what happens to the person in whom this knowledge of the self is shining forth? Tat buddhayaha. Always that person is engaged in the thought of that self. Tad atmanaha. He considers the self alone as a self. Tan nishthaha. He is always established in the thought of that self. Tat parayanaha. He believes that the self is alone the final destination unto which he goes. Gachanti, such a person who is living in this manner, he goes. He finally drops the body and he leaves. Punar gachanti apunaravrittam. He does not come back into another physical body. He does not take another physical body. Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. His mind, his knowledge is free from all taints. Kalmasha is all kinds of distortions of the mind, impurities of the mind. There are no impurities in the mind. It is just a one pointed, concentrated thought on the self. Tasmin gata buddhihi yesham te tadbuddhayaha. The one whose intellect or thought has gone and merged into that self is called tadbuddhayaha. The person is called thinking about that alone. Tad atmanaha. He has become that self itself. So it's called tad atmana. Tad evam param brahma atma yesham te tadatmanaha. That Brahman alone is I. That is the tadatmanaha. Tan nishtha. Nishtha abhiniveshaha tatparyam sarvani karmani sanyasya brahmani eva avasthanam yesham te tan nishtha. So when you say somebody is established in that truth of the Brahman, giving up all actions, they are just aligning themselves, identifying themselves, being as that non-acting, non-moving, non-vibrating, non-desiring consciousness. Tat parayanaha cha tat eva param ayanam paragatihi yesham bhavati te tat parayana. A person is called tat parayana if that Brahman alone is my refuge. Where do I go? What do I think about all the time? It is only that Brahman alone. Kevalat atma ratayaha. Rataya ityartaha. Atma rati means one who revels in that truth, revels in that self of that supreme Brahman. Yesham jnanena nashitam atmanaha ajnanam te gachanti evam vidha apunaravrittim apunar nirdeha sambandham jnana nirdhuta kalmasha yathoktena jnanena nirdhutaha nashitaha kalmashaha papadi samsara karana doshaha yesham te jnana nirdhuta kalmasha yataya ityartaha. So we have seen that in the meaning itself. So what is kalmasha means? Papadi samsara karana dosha. Papa means sin. Adi means etc. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, sins. The different types of sins or disturbances of the mind which brings one back into samsara. Samsara means rebirth into the body again. It is like being thrown again on the earth. It's like failing a class. Studying in the same class, if we do not study well, or if we are indisciplined in the school and in the class, we create a lot of damage to others, and we have not responsibility completed our syllabus and studied well and passed the exam, we may be asked to take the same year again. So in the same way, if we have not done the work of clearing our mind, purifying our mind, making the mind one pointed and realizing the self, we have not finished our portions of this school of life, and so we will be born again. But not all these people who have given up all that and they are always remaining in the true self, they do not come back. Jnana nirdhuta kalmasha yataya. These yatis, the people who strive towards perfection, their minds are purified. Esham jnanena nashitam atmanaha ajnanam te panditaha katham tattvam pashyanti iti uchyate. So the remaining many verses, we will see the 18th verse today. All the other verses from the 18 verses is talking about what is the perception of the world, perception of the truth by these people who are called panditas, or one who has the knowledge of the self. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva shvapake cha pandita samadarshinaha. Vidya vinaya sampanne vidya cha vinayaha cha vidya vinayau vidya atmanaha bodhaha. What is vidya? Knowledge of the self. Vinaya upashamaha, mind is very calm. Tabhyam vidya vinayabhyam sampannaha, the one who has both knowledge of the self and the one whose mind is calm. Vidwan vinitaha, a humble person. Sayo brahmanaha tasmin brahmane gavi hastini shuni cha eva shwapake cha panditaha samadarshinaha. he has an equal vision when he sees a brahmana, when he sees a cow, when he sees an elephant, when he sees a pig, a dog, and shwapaka, when he sees a dog eater also. All these different varieties of people and animals which show what are the three gunas. Sattva guna, he may see people who are predominantly sattva guna, he may see animals which are predominantly rajoguna like cows, and animals that are predominantly tamoguna like elephants, or even other types of people. Shwapaka is like people who are dogs are basically very friendly to us. So one who eats a dog can be a very crude person at heart, a cruel person, because dogs come wagging their tail and they have so much of love for us. To be able to kill such an animal and eat it requires a lot of cruelty at heart. So, even while seeing all these different categories of people, the jnani, the one who knows the truth of the self, is having samadarshana. He is having an equal vision towards everybody and everything. Vidya vinaya sampanne, uttama samskaravati brahmane, satvike. Uttama samskara means good samskaras. They have got good habits. Those people, madhyamayam cha rajasyam gavi, like cow, which is a rajas in the middle, and samskara hinayam atyantavantam eva kevala tamase hasti adav. Elephants that do not have any. Even cows have got samskara. They've got love in their heart. They've got love for their calves. They've got love for the people around them. Cows are very loving creatures. Elephants which do not have any samskara means they are not they are all given to wild life. Hasti adav satvadi gunaihi tajjaihi cha samskaraihi tatha rajasaihi tatha tamasaihi cha samskaraihi atyantameva asprishtam samam ekam avikriyam brahma drashtum sheelam esham te panditaha samadarshinaha. If they treat everything as equal, then they become qualified to see that Brahman within. Samadarshinaha, a person of equal perception, even perception is called. Nate doshavantaha katham. So, there is no kind of fault for them because they see everything on an equal plane. How is it? We will see that tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashchit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Bole Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Hare Namah Parvati Pataye. Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hari Om.